Massive transfer twist as Rangers chase Premiership top scorer Tawanda Maswanhise in a bold late window move that could wreck Celtic's title hopes. Dan Neil, once tipped for greatness by the Snake Beale, now being lined up as a midfield game-changer, with the 49ers ready to flex serious financial muscle. A new deep-lying general is on the cards as Rangers push for one final midfield signing, with names like Silas Anderson and Jens Hjerto-Dahl heating up behind the scenes. If you love Rangers, hit that like button, simple as that. Before I even get into the Motherwell striker, take a step back and look at the bigger picture. For years now, every Rangers board has made the same mistake by refusing to go and take the biggest names from this league. Bayern Munich have always understood it. When you sign the best players from your rivals, you don't just make yourself stronger, you weaken everyone else. If Rangers go and lift a top attacker from Hearts, someone like Shankland, for example, you're not only improving your own squad, you're ripping the heart out of a rival. We are bigger than the rest, simple as that. And if Rangers want to go back to being the only club that truly matters in this country, this has to be the mindset again. But let's start right there. Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to know exactly where you stand on this. Rangers have set their sights on a name that's been tearing through the Premiership defenses like a man possessed. Tawanda Maswanhise, the 23-year-old Zimbabwean, has been absolutely flying for Motherwell this season, banging in 11 league goals in just 20 appearances and racking up 16 across all competitions. He's not just scoring, he's bullying defenders, dragging them out of position and putting himself right in the thick of everything that matters in the final third, while Youssef Chermiti cost the club £8 million and gave you a glimpse of magic with that brace at the piggery. It's been nothing but shadows since 4 matches without a goal and still searching for rhythm. Meanwhile, Maswanhise has been making it look easy, dribbling, finishing, getting into the right spaces. He's got the kind of form you can't buy, unless apparently you've got £4 million to throw at Motherwell. That's the figure being floated around, and honestly, if the board were willing to spend double that on Chermiti and £6 million on Danilo, who's flatter than a pint at a Celtic supporters club, then £4 million for a Premiership top scorer already adapted to the league is daylight robbery. Now, I know Motherwell's gaffer Jens Berthel Askow's trying to act like there's nothing happening behind the scenes, but we've seen that game before. The smile, the wee quote about putting him to bed, aye, that's lovely, but if the money's right, that lad is packing his bags and heading for Ibrox. And let's not pretend we've got time to waste, because Celtic are sniffing too. Imagine letting this lad slip into green and white while we're sitting with a striker list that couldn't hit water if they fell out a boat. That can't happen. Not now, not when the title's within reach. Would you break the bank to sign Maswanhise right now, even if it meant selling Danilo at a loss or worse? Would you stomach seeing him turn up at Celtic Park if we let this one go? The engine room at Ibrox might be in for a major shakeup, and this time it's Dan Neil's name lighting up the radar. A gritty, all-action midfielder with a knack for getting stuck in, Neil's been one of the few shining lights in an otherwise miserable season for Sunderland. With over 47 appearances last campaign and an average of nearly 6 recoveries per game, he's not just covering ground, he's owning it. Now, here's the twist. Rangers are reportedly ready to outmuscle the competition thanks to the financial muscle of the 49ers enterprises and chairman Andrew Kavanagh. That's right. The Americans at the helm are apparently more than willing to dig into the pockets to bring the 24-year-old to Ibrox, even before his contract runs out this summer. On paper, it's a clever move. Neil's contract's winding down. Sunderland are barely playing him anymore thanks to Granit Xhaka showing up, and he's clearly eyeing a fresh challenge. Danny Rolls made it no secret that he wants a bit more bite and control in the middle of the park, and Neil would give you just that. Press-resistant, aggressive, and a leader by example. But here's the thing, Neil knows he can wait and walk away for free in the summer, and yet Rangers seem keen to get him through the door now for a small fee. You have to ask why. Is it a case of not trusting the current midfield depth, or do they see something long-term in Neil they don't want anyone else snapping up? And let's not forget, this lad was touted for big things by none other than Michael Beale. I know mentioning his name's enough to turn your stomach. But even the snake gets it right sometimes. Beale once said Neil had the tools to challenge international midfielders, and while Beale's judgment is usually about as reliable as a chocolate teapot, in this case, Neil's stats back it up. Still, he's coming from a Sunderland side that's floundering, not flourishing. So here's what I want to know. Would you bring Dan Neil in now and trust him to command the midfield at Ibrox, or is this just another overhyped English project we're trying to polish into something he's not? It's shaping up to be one of the most ambitious January windows we've seen at Ibrox in years, and it looks like the engine room is still the main area getting all the attention. Tochi Chukwuani's in, Tua Romans too, and Skov Olsen's added a bit of flair out wide on loan. But make no mistake, the real focus now is on bringing in another proper midfield presence, specifically someone with experience who can sit deep, control the tempo, and take some of the burden off Nicholas Raskin's shoulders. Now, Raskin's been the standout in that midfield all season, covering every blade of grass, breaking lines, winning duels, you name it. But he's been doing it all himself. If we want to sustain a title push, never mind have a go in Europe, he can't be left carrying the full load. Sources close to the club are adamant if one more comes in before the window slams shut, it'll be a deep-lying midfielder with experience. That points to players like Silas Anderson still firmly on the radar, and it's clear the recruitment team's looking for the right fit, not just another warm body in the squad. And here's a key detail for you. Despite having 6 loanies in the squad already, Rangers still have 2 loan slots available due to the age and nationality rules. That means the flexibility is there if the right man pops up before the 2nd of February. Look, there's a real sense now that this could be the squad to get the job done. It's tight at the top, but with a couple more smart additions, especially someone who can dictate from deep, we've got every chance of finishing this season with silver in our hands and the Celtic tears flowing like rain in Glasgow. With all the new faces flying in, do you think this midfield rebuild is giving Raskin the support he deserves, or are we still one injury away from another collapse in the middle of the park? Right, let's talk about one of the most exciting names being whispered around Ibrox this window, Jens Hjerto-Dahl. Now, while some folk online were getting themselves in a frenzy thinking the big Norwegian was already packing his bags for Govan, turns out he was actually sunning himself at Tromsø's pre-season camp in Portugal. But make no mistake, the links are real, and the interest from Rangers is no passing rumor. At just 20 years of age, Hjerto-Dahl has already played over 75 times in Norway's top flight. That's not potential, that's proven pedigree. 4 goals, 7 assists last season, and standing at 6'4", he's the sort of towering presence we've been crying out for in midfield. Physical, calm on the ball, reads the game like a seasoned pro. He's not quite a traditional number 6, but his ability to break up play and distribute from deep is exactly what's missing in that engine room. Tochi Chukwuani's already in the door and will be challenging for that box-to-box role. Raskin, God bless him, is still being forced to play too deep because of injuries and poor squad balance. And with Rothwell looking like he's offloaded to Sheffield United and Barron plus Bailey Rice crocked, you're basically running a midfield with diamond and crossed fingers. So here's where Hjerto-Dahl fits in perfectly. Not just another body, but a genuine upgrade. Someone who allows Raskin to move back, into the final third, where his creativity can hurt teams. And he might cost over £3.5 million. But with the 49ers running the show, the cash is clearly there. And let's be honest, how many players can come in at 20 already this experienced and still have room to grow into a cornerstone at Ibrox? Chris Jack might have put a temporary pin in the rumors, but that doesn't mean this move is dead. Far from it. With less than a week to go in the window, and I know that Ibrox moves fast when it smells opportunity. Should Rangers go all in for Hjerto-Dahl now and give Raskin his freedom? Or do you think spending millions on another youngster when we've got gaps all over the pitch is putting flair ahead of function? That's the video for today. Make sure you leave a like to show the strength of our Rangers here on YouTube and drop a comment letting me know what you thought.